So exciting. Woo. All right, droplets, we have made it over here, well, up here, because we took a little road trip today to get up here for you guys. Hope you enjoy this amazing interview we're about to partake in over at Enegren Brewing. All right, gentlemen.
Woo!
Yeah, see? Prost. Let's start off, yeah. So clearly, I haven't had this.
Almost done.
Oh!
Sorry.
Now, Ben and I have already told the viewers at home to start drinking this beer. So they've already soaked it up. Before we talk about the beer, though, check out that camera. Introduce yourselves to everybody at home, our little droplets, as we call them.
Sorry, I only had this much beer. This is why I'm probably terrible at this. So once we get towards the end, I'll probably be better. But I'm Chris Enegren, the head brewer and part owner of Enegren Brewing Company.
John Bird, master Festivities, part owner. I manage all of our sales distribution shenanigans. So all the beer that's getting in your mouth from us comes from me. Him originally, but then through me.
I make it, give it to you.
He makes it, he gives it to me, I give it to you.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have a great facility here.
Thank you.
So before we get into that, how long you guys been here and all that stuff, let's talk about this beer. You got some we got these cans, by the way. Classic look. Love it. I mean, you guys all have our droplets have probably seen me cook with some of your beer. The Big Meat. Oh boy. I could do a whole nother like cut. Let's do another take. Okay. No. So tell me about this beer. We got a solid 23 IBUs. I'm cheating off the can. 5.5, a little bit higher in ABV, but that's what a good fest beer is, right?
Well,
so
this
Marzen.
This is a Marzen.
Marzen.
So go ahead.
So, well, the old story is, Marzen is pretty much the old school Oktoberfest style beer.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the 1970s that started to realize that maybe they've made it a little bit lighter, they could sell a lot more beer. So that's why you get the fest beer now, which is more of like a big Helles. So they're both Oktoberfest style beers, but
so
traditionally
technically
Marzen is the one you see a lot.
The Marzen is what they used to have at Oktoberfest.
Okay.
Nowadays you'd be drinking something a lot more of a pale color.
Yeah.
It's a little bit hoppier, just a little bit, slightly.
A little maltier.
Malts are a little bit lighter on it, but and it's usually actually a higher ABV too. So we have a fest beer that comes out for our Oktoberfest that we have, and usually that's beginning of October, which is the last weekend of Oktoberfest.
Yes.
So that's like 6.2%. So this is the Marzen, and then I'm sure
good.
that somebody else is going to be having a fest beer as well in your
Oh yeah.
So
this is I mean, it looks beautiful. As they say, great head retention, looks good. I can see right through it, exactly what you would expect, if you ask me.
clarity is a big thing.
I mean,
it has to be clear. If it's not clear, it doesn't count.
Okay.
Unless it's a Zwickel beer, then it works.
Yeah, as Zwickel beer is, I mean...
We fuss over the clarity so much here, and it's a big pain to deal with, but...
Well,
it makes a big difference.
I was going to say, I know, everyone that's participating in our virtual beer fest definitely knows that we appreciate good beer, which is why we came to you guys. I'm sure live back in the studio, Ben's been like drooling, waiting to drink this beer because he was the one who introduced me to you guys. I'm sure I had run into your brewery before, but Ben's like, oh, come on, we're doing Oktoberfest, Droptoberfest. We got to get up here to you guys. So we're super happy that we were able to have you guys join us.
Glad to have you. It's awesome to throw on the lederhosen. It's been about
always
a week.
A good excuse.
It's been about a week and a half since I've had my lederhosen on. But anyway, it's nice to be like, Tuesday Toberfest, man.
It's so good. Well, let's talk. So let's for everybody who hasn't been up here, because it's from our Orange County base. It's a good distance away, 60, 70-ish miles away. So what's the history of your local watering hole here?
So I started off home brewing in college.
Nice.
Built a small brewery after
like
college.
5 years ago?
Yeah, about 5 years. I don't know how long ago that was. I feel like I forget how long.
We just had our 9th anniversary.
So
Okay,
it's been 9 years of commercial brewing.
Yeah.
And before that, it was probably 4 years of home brewing.
Okay.
We built a small brewery in a different business park. It was right next to this one. 1,400 square feet, tiny little 3-barrel system.
Okay.
Did that as a side gig. And then we ended up building this thing up 3 years after that. And starting off, we kind of always focus on the German style beers. It's always our favorite styles. But we had a lot of, IPAs and other things popping up here and there. And shortly after we started the small one, right when we built this one, you started on full time.
So I basically started
You're helping partying
build
stuff.
this while we were doing that, and that was kind of the main focus on here too. Was we were gonna be able to get into more distribution and stuff, and so that's where I came in and started doing our sales and everything. On the other side, my title is Master of Festivities.
Yeah,
which
is a fun title.
It's the best title.
It's the best. All right.
Most of my emails that I send out, people are like, "Number one, I want to tell you, your title's amazing." So I started, setting up our festivals and going to all of our beer fests and doing, and then production for, marketing for, celebrating our Oktoberfestness. Things like that.
When John got on, we kind of looked at our portfolio of beers, and we're all just so amped up about lager brewing and German style stuff.
Yeah.
And we're trying to just survive selling beer. And every bar is like, we already have a light beer. Well, okay, yeah, sure. Bud Light doesn't count. Helles is what we're trying to sell here. They always ask us for an IPA or a fruit IPA, and our distributor at that point was like, you gotta make fruit IPA, and that's when we said, all right, that's it. We're ripping the brand apart. We're gonna rebrand. We're only brewing beer that I want to make, which is a German style stuff, and we're gonna go hardcore on that. And that's when I think things really clicked over, and
people started. We were definitely ahead of the curve of. Everybody right now is really into lagers, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because I think that people have. There's a million breweries out there. There's a million breweries starting up every single day, and they're all making the same style of beer. But if you can focus in on a beer that's the hardest style of beer to make and make it better than everybody else,
then you got something, right?
And you're doing it. And not to mention the fact of I think that the German beer culture is kind of something that we really embraced.
Okay.
And not just the beer, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But the culture itself of just we're just, look at our
looking
looking awesome. Leather pants is one thing.
Let's be clear, everybody at home, they didn't buy these just for our interviews. I understand. I fully underdressed for today. I had to take a road trip, so
I brought 3 or 4 different top portions of this, and we both have a few different lederhosen.
I hate to tell you guys, we are having a costume contest. I'm sorry. Can't participate.
Oh, no, yeah. Because obviously we'd win.
Doesn't mean we're not going to post a dope photo of the two of you guys. Don't worry about that. That'll happen. But we
should have done a runway thing, switching costumes.
German fashion show.
Yeah.
German fashion show.
I'm sorry.
Well, you touched on this, and I want to ask you guys this question. So you've been in beer for professionally and unprofessionally, probably for quite some time. I'm going to start with you. What do you, in all those years you've been brewing beer, drinking beer, and all that stuff, what do you think in the overarching of your beer career, have you seen, what's your, the biggest change that kind of stands out to you in the craft beer industry?
The biggest change? Really it's...
Or just something stand out, our friends over...
It seems like the trends always change, but whatever we do is the same thing.
That's good, though.
And
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I feel like every year... Ever since the beginning, it was fighting a trend. It was just damn it, everyone wants West Coast IPA.
Everybody wants fruit IPA. We're always getting a question of somebody's hey, why don't you make this? It's listen, you drink Helles and you like it.
Yeah. Right.
You're committed to your brand.
Where's your IPA? We don't have one.
Yeah.
Sorry, but you can go somewhere else.
Yeah.
You're here for the good beer. You can actually enjoy it, and it won't be an IPA.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, really, it isn't a distinct change. It's just the whole beer scene is very fluid, and also people's craft beer journey is completely different.
Yeah,
you see one person and they're just getting off the college funnel and hose to
Yep.
an IPA or something, and you just watch that person go from that to, oh my God, they put peanut butter in a beer, holy crap, and then it's like the chocolate and something other weird. Then they come back around to, I just want to have beer, and not talk about it, and end up having lager, and then it's a whole nice big circle. So you see that everyone's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Everyone you meet is on a different track in that whole, I guess, scheme of things.
It's true.
But that's kind of one of the things we always notice. And then obviously the trends are always changing around, and what's new, what's cool, what's hip. I hope lager doesn't become some trendy thing, so everyone just makes it and doesn't really care.
I think that right now we've got, a lot of people are making lagers and stuff, but appreciating them and understanding, I think, that what our craft really is, and seeing what other breweries are doing with a lager, and then coming and having some of our lagers, and they're like,
oh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, like you said, trends will change. People's palates will change.
Exactly.
But if you do something well, even if lagers come, fall off and everybody hates lagers, that you're still going to make a great lager and people are still going to like
we'll
it.
just get a job at that.
The thing is these lagers and the beers that we're making have been around for hundreds of years.
Yeah, for a reason, right?
For a reason. So this is never going to end. What we do is never going to end. Whereas, hopefully, seltzers will.
I feel you.
You know what I mean?
So you're saying you guys are doing a seltzer soon?
Exactly.
No.
But that's the thing is these trends, they come, they go, and you can see them kind of starting to drop. But it is about a journey through craft beer, and we've all tried everything, And we just made a phenomenal IPA collaboration with Institution. It's really good.
Okay, check it out, Drop.
But for me, I can't drink a beer that's that hoppy that much. I can't drink something that's that high in ABV where I can sit here and I can drink this. I think a couple hours. Where if you go to Oktoberfest, that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
And so why isn't every Saturday Oktoberfest?
I know
It is for me.
All right, so here's a question for you. How about any interesting stories? Because I know POCO, as we're trying to call it, post-COVID. You guys have any fun? When you went to an Oktoberfest, maybe you have a fun story.
Dude, I went to Oktoberfest in 2010. It was actually cool because right before we started the first brewery, my brother's boss gave him a ticket to Germany, 2 tickets to Germany, spending money, and said, you got to get out of here, take a vacation. So he called me up, hey, you want to go? So we went out there. And,
Chris is like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I should. My boss was German at the time, and he was like, you have to go. Like, okay, cool, sounds good. But we went out there, did Oktoberfest, and just watching the beer culture out there, we're just like, oh, this is insane. Everyone's just so friendly. It was awesome. Downtown Munich, it's just everyone's just passed out in the street, no problems. I didn't see one security guard. Got back to America a week later, went to the Torrance Oktoberfest, and the SWAT team's there, and his gang fights, and I'm like, this is why I don't have nice things.
This is why we can't have nice things.
But anyways, but we went to one of the tents, and the first thing we saw was just everyone, just obviously listening to these great songs and partying together. Yeah. And Matt and I were just thinking, this is, outside of the beer being incredible, we got to bring some of this fun back to America because you got to have some more fun with the beer scene. And also, it kind of shaped what we started. We started off with an alt and an IPA. But we were going to just start off with just an alt. And the reason for that is we go to all these different breweries. We're in Dusseldorf. We're all the alt breweries. So
they went other places as well.
Yeah, we did Munich. We went to Dusseldorf. So we're always into making alt beer. That was kind of one of our flagship beers at the time. But all the breweries out there, kind of in common you see is you go to a brewery and they ask you, would you like beer or not? And it's not like, here's our flight list. It's just, do you want beer? We make one beer for the last 200 years. Yeah. And it's Helles, or it's Hef, or it's this and that.
Yeah, this is what we do.
So coming back, we're thinking that'd be awesome just to make one beer and focus on only that. I mean, looking back on it, that was probably a terrible idea. Because we're not in Germany, we're in America. It's different. But we decided we'll throw an IPA up there too, just to have the IPA. And so we had 2 beers for almost the first like 2 years.
Yeah, a couple of years.
Dang.
Yeah.
But obviously it worked out.
Yeah,
It did work out.
Here we are.
Ziggy zaggy, ziggy zaggy.
Oi, oi, oi!
Ziggy zaggy, ziggy zaggy.
Oi, oi, oi!
Ziggy zaggy, ziggy zaggy.
Oi, oi, oi!
1, 2, 3, super! Prost!
I love it. Doesn't get better than that, Droplets. Again, guys, thank you so much. Droplets, thanks for joining us here today. Back to Ben and me in the future.